What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is Muscle, and this is another Two Line Music Hut's Entertainment Report podcast. And today we have a special guest in the building. Listen, this man is a living legend. He's been in the reggae music business from the 70s until right now. Countless albums, countless hit singles, so many things. You know, we have in the building today, we have Horace Sleepy Andy in the building today. What's going on, big boss?
Everything good, man. You know, it's nice we've come forward again, you know.
Yeah.
After, the last time was in the park,
Yep.
you know, it was really nice. And then before that, I always remember about the experience. I worked a producer that I listen. And I got talk about it. But from there, I'm saying I have a bad experience. It must I listen then.
Yeah.
And better no, don't come near me.
It's part of the ups and downs of this business. This is why I like to have these conversations, because we hear you sing the nice songs, bless you and all of this, but you don't know the real story of the life of Horace Andy, you understand? And that's what we want a little glimpse today, the life of Horace Andy, you
If
understand?
enough people ever know. You know, somebody send for you and put in a hotel. You know, I was in Miami, and, you know, the promoter come, look for it, give me a box food. When I see him till the next day,
Yeah.
till the next day we do the show, right? And them drop at the hotel. Sunday come, we don't see him. Monday come, we don't see him. Tuesday come, we don't see him. The people them start to ask for their money. What happened to the room? You know, that's why we love women so. You know, see, because I can't, you know, his woman come to my rescue. We just make a call and she just drive, come and park around the back and me run with my thing man, so me escape.
And is that something that's more common than not? Like, there's a lot of little shady dealings and promoters you deal with on the road.
Yes. Do we got to, I get a plane ticket right to Washington. When we finish the show, I'm ask for money, it's gone in my face. And I never get a round trip ticket. I have to go back to Miami in the truck back.
What?
With the sound. How much we have to go.
Holy smoke. But again, people don't really realize this is what happens in the life.
Yeah, it's our own Jamaican doing it. That's make it so sad.
Yeah.
We're own kind.
If it was somebody foreign, whatever, but
You
you
know?
wouldn't expect this from your brothers and your sisters.
No, my brother, no. Not expect that, you know.
Yeah.
And we have children. We have children and we have to support them. You know? So that's why we come and travel.
You're doing a lot of people see you on stage singing and we're there dancing and clapping and stuff. But a lot of people don't realize you're at work while we're having fun, you know.
Right.
You're at work, you know.
Right. It's work, me at work.
Yeah.
Me get 20 daughters, you know. And 10 boy pick me, you know. So me have to work.
30, I
My
got.
youngest child is 4-year-old. Me have to work.
It's all good. Let's get into some of your history here now. Jamaica. What part of Jamaica are you originally from?
Allman Town.
Allman Town.
Yeah.
What was it like in Allman Town growing up back then?
Well, when we grow up, you don't know you want bad. Give me a trouble, you know. My mother tired of me, you know. One of the things I can't forget what we do is go down at the station, police them a play domino, and we let you two thunderbolt over the wall. For 1 year, them a look for me, say me shoot up station, poor me.
So back then you just you were mischievous but did you start to get into any real serious things, or it was just more mischievous things?
Mischievous. We never have gone like them, you tell. Suppose we did have it, probably we wouldn't there. You know?
Yeah.
It's sad, but
Yeah.
you know,
That's the reality of it there. So Allman Town, as he said, it was a little badness, mischievous, but nothing really big.
like them, you tell, man.
Nothing like this.
We go see her, we'll come back. But it's wrong, you know, we shouldn't do them things. Every time my mom say, boy, father, I want to fuck up.
Yeah.
And I was a misty. a 4 away now. 4 bullock, quarter pound of cheese. I say, 2 back by the time she come for the drinks, you know, we run gone.
Why were you? It's like it almost seemed like you really liked to do bad things back then.
You know, we young.
Yeah.
You know, school from school. My mother put me in a long frock.
Yeah.
I still gone on road. Cause we live in Jamaica so much yard, didn't have no ramping space. So you take the street.
So the street was where you would play and hang out and
go over
understand.
race course, because I live near race course. And my mother said I'm a country. Every time she make up for me, so over there I go.
Yeah, growing up there, and then even when you say like even school now, what type of student were you? Would if I was to speak to one of your classmates right now, and I say what type of student was Horace Andy, what would they tell me?
Troublemaker. You know, but you know, I wanted to go to senior school or all saint school. All of my friends them gone them school, they probably made it go me with their own. Cause my mother sent me to Michael. And that's where I realized me spin up. She was a music teacher and she loved me. Cause she's me born with a voice.
So she was like one of the first people to really notice that you have this voice.
Yes.
Did you notice before she noticed it, or that was when you discovered it also?
I mean, I checked on the singing.
Yeah.
You know, we just a singing in our class. Like we used to sing, you know, like I said, all the way to Calvary, send for. Then the next side start, and then so you know, and she used to hear me, but me not hear myself, and that's where I learned to play the piano.
It was the music teacher.
Yes, she was the music teacher, and all our teachers in them times come from England. Miss Cole, I would never forget. You know, and Miss Pinnock, the two, and Mr. Naismith, and we come and we don't want to go graduation. You know, it goes to prayer, bring down the bag and hide. Hines, Lord God,
Yeah.
I always get catch, you know.
Always making some sort of mischief and all this. Because I know your cousin, your first cousin, is Justin Hines.
Yes.
You know what I mean? The legendary Justin Hines. So you knew that you had music in your family from back then, but this wasn't something that you were really paying attention to.
But when I find out that Justin was my cousin, and my father tell me, you know, every time him song play, I would turn up the radio, man. That's one of my first inspiration. But I still wasn't in the music yet. Growing up, you know, would love Justin. You know, but I have a brother named Frank.
Yeah.
You know, and Frank had a guitar. So he used to come for me all the time. Come, man, you know, run up and be in trouble, and, you know. And he would come for me, and, you know, that's how I started to learn off of his guitar. You know, and really get serious. So, in 1966, I was over race course, and we were practicing. And this young man, Errol, I don't know if he is alive again now, you know. My eye them always run water, you know. And it's like me, I cry.
Yeah.
And him pass and him say, "You man, you sound good, you know. Me have a brethren. Tell me if you come, you know." Him have a brethren we produce. That was Phil Pratt.
Phil Pratt, yep.
I live over All Saints, behind, well, you know, Sampalo, them son. And I go over there. Pratt hear me. So nice you would start practice, but him want to train me to sing like Ken Booth.
Oh, he knew that you had a voice, but he wanted it to mold it into a Ken Booth type of sound.
You know, and you see, when I was, before all of that, when I was a big fan of Otis Redding and Nat King Cole. So I get that kind of slurring from Otis Redding. So when after him carry me to Pratt, the first song I sing, I say I couldn't sing, you know. But it kind of sound good in my ear the other day when I played.
Okay, when you listen back years later.
In 1966. That's the first time I went to We call it was named West Indies Recording Studio before Dynamic
Okay.
really buy it.
Okay, that was the first name for it.
Yes, West Indies Recording Studio. 1966. You know, and Brad took me and teach me the song. This is you want to hear the singing?
Yes.
Every time I hear it, me laugh till the week. This is a black man's country. We got to treat them like a real king. Every time I hear it, I say, no. But it still sounds weird.
Yeah. You because remember, at this point here, you're probably still trying to find your sound, how you could really present it to the world and make it how you want it to
Some
sound.
man, them just hustle, man. Want a quick, because that's how, these people are not producers. Bunny Lee and none of them is not producers, you know. They are financiers. They
So
find the
executive
money.
producers.
Yeah, you know, they pay for the session. And when they pay for it that you sing it, then put them name as a writer, then put them name as a producer, then put them and leave you out. You look at most of the label them. Look at when Bunny Lee put out one album for me, and it becomes 6 albums.
We say remix and refix and
Yeah.
dub and non-dub.
Yeah. And call all one album Just Say Who, call one Sky. Them wicked, man. You know, so
Yeah.
that was my first experience.
Was with Phil Pratt there. So was it
Yeah.
you? Was it you and Frank that recorded together, or he was just
No,
showing you the
whenever
guitar?
I'm going to give you the instrument because you want it. All right? I know who know me asleep from Allman Town, they must have listened. Even one must have listened. And I laugh and I say, I'm sleeping. I hope my granddaughter listen, you know. Well, I never get no kids here.
Okay,
I mean, get kids in America and England.
you could make 131.
And I hope the young ladies then we used to come visit to the house. One of them still alive.
A bad you bad in a bass. Yeah.
You know, me are 74 now, so they must big ladies married, have children, and you know, probably pass on. You know.
That's wild there. So you're telling me about Frank, you and
Yeah,
Frank.
with Frank. Frank would say, "Come, man, you love too much badness, man." But me not call it. We keep call it one bad. We one bad. You know, I remember when we meet some friends and my father live at Jonestown. He never licked me yet in life. That's why I don't put my hand on my children. Then.
Okay.
It's because my father never licked, no care what me do.
Yeah.
And anytime I go run, we go over Jonestown, him knows there's something me do. After 3-4 days, there comes my mother, me gone over the fence. Because my mother, a murderation me get, you know. We not get beaten, we get murderation.
They're not playing with people.
So as I tell you, my mother put me in her long frock, but still come on road.
So that was almost like to shame you or something, like to keep your
the
nose.
same age, man, you know. But put me in a crocus bag frock, me still come on road. She put me in a onion bag frock, me still come on road.
You just love road.
I mean, always I go with Frank there sing, but she never like it. She talk about a reggae, a rock song. Monty Morris, Prince Buster, them are the singer. When me look one day, me see my guitar I go out and do a boom boom and a little piece of clothes and me have to run like thief. What? But in the end, she get the best care from me. My other brother and sisters, them charm. All right, my brother. Wait, Frank, my name is to practice every day, right? 1966, practice. When I went to Studio One, I think I could sing. I couldn't sing. Me still think me can sing, you know. Right?
Yeah.
Went to Studio One, but when I went to Studio One, I went to elementary, high school, college, university.
Everything in one.
That's when I went to Studio One. But and me and Frank, it was 1970, January 1970. We went to Studio One, and me and him, we were past the audition.
Yeah.
Because we were singing like a group. And Mr. Daddy, well, passed away. When we went in the studio to record, because Leroy Sibbles is one of the greatest bass players I have, you know.
We're going to get into that for sure.
Leroy wasn't recognized as a musician, and he was recognized as a singer.
Even though he created all of these massive bass lines.
See a man, Pierce, Fever, every Dennis Brown, every Alton Nellis, I can tell you, Leroy is one of the great. Robbie Shakespeare comes second to Leroy Sibbles, you know. I say that.
That's a big one there still.
Not your Robbie can play it. But Leroy Sibbles is the man. Him create all of these great bass line them. You know? So when me and Frank, when we went, we started playing the guitar and sing. I think I was in America. Frank was in England. And the guitar was in Africa.
Everybody's, the things not meshing together.
Feel.
Yeah.
Right? So Frank keeps saying, Horace, try it yourself, man. And I said, no, I can't do it. Him say, yes, go yourself, Horace. Go. Because I used to love write.
Writing is your thing.
99% of my songs I write. I sing over something, but not like Dennis. You know, I was one of Dennis' greatest inspiration. If he was alive, he would tell you. Because I had the Rasta in my soul.
So you were Rasta before Dennis, bro?
Yeah, man, I go Ethiopian World Federation, man. That's where I get the inspiration. Mr. Bada Muta, no, you know, I come from Allman town too. And when we go Ethiopian World Federation, I used to bother him. I bother Gatman. That's how I learn all. That's why I write all of these songs. See a man face, you know, every tongue shall tell. All them songs, you know. So Frank begged me to go by myself. I said, okay. And I went. And I was practicing around the back, you know. And Scully, you know, from Scully, from my Western Ellis, Scully hear me and say, you just don't go in the yard. If you go around there now, I say, yeah, man, I will go, man. And every time I go, I'm afraid.
When you were here for music?
Nervous, man. You know, all of the beer man inside, you know. Beer man pack up the whole. And every one of them go. Mr. Dad say, come back 2 year time. Or come back a month. Because him know say them not know him. You know. And who good, come to the studio Wednesday. I decided to go myself. And I went. You know, his colleague hear me and him say, the song good in youth. And it was 6 o'clock that evening before I go.
Okay.
On a Sunday.
Yeah.
And when I started to sing, you got to be. All of the man they move, well, they run come. I wish you that, I wish you that. Why you do it so? You're so humble sitting around there. We can't believe what you sing, sir.
Can they just see, they're seeing you all day, just chilling.
Yeah. And Mr. Dad, I rate that man. He's a great man. Don't anybody tell you, Mr. Dad, thief artist, you know. If you get to the root of it, you will know. Right? And Mr. Dad say, youth man, come Wednesday morning, 9 o'clock. And when I reach my turn, go in the studio, he said, I start to sing. You got to be sure. Because sing so again, no voice to get nothing. Half a woman's love. The man them put down, them me right put on him guitar. Everybody, and them laugh. Them laugh me to scorn. Because Leroy said, where you get the voice from? The man, where that come from? Leroy, I hear me if you want to listen. He put on him bass guitar and him laugh.
And you weren't expecting this reaction from the people.
No, but it's the sound of the voice.
Yeah.
You know? It's the sound of the voice. If you listen to me. So, eventually, I recall, first song I sing was Got to Be Sure and Something on My Mind. Right? And the voice them pass good. You see, after that, I could never sing like that again. No, Kiro, I tried.
Well, how come?
No, because singing people's song, you can sing a song, you know. You can sing anybody like, my heart is gone. But when you're ready to sing your one now, because you never get no voice training. But you can, some people, they go karaoke, they mash it up. Carry them to the studio, they fail.
Because you now have to sing your own creation, which you don't have a
Yes.
guide like with the other one.
Right.
Okay, this is how you sing it.
That's
Now
what-
you have to make up something.
So I started to learn to play the guitar. So I learned the one drop. You know, I had to start all over again when I go studio one.
Yeah.
And I remember after those two songs, I did Fever, I did Shaman Face, Every Tongue Shall Tell, you know, I'll Be Gone, all of them songs. But my voice
Different.
was like harmony.
So, okay,
It
even
was
with your,
very thin.
but with your voice, how do you even come up with your style of singing? Because it's extremely unique style of singing. How did you come up with that?
I never know, I just born with it. I think it was a gift from in my mom's womb. You get gift, you don't come out and get gift, you know, you get it before you're born.
Yeah.
And you can see that gift was there until I recognize it.
Because I could, when you look back, could you understand why Leroy Sibbles and everybody was dead in the studio? Because your voice was so unique and they've never heard anything like this before.
No,
Yeah.
that's why them laugh. You know?
Yeah.
And after singing so much songs, them not pay me no mind again because my voice, me not sing good. You know? And I remember 1971, the August, I never go to the one for quite a long while.
Okay.
And I went to August. And Barry Eptone. And come Mr. Song, Mr. Dad, give me this song to sing. Woy, woy, oh, what a funny man. He used to give me a song for sing, you know. So I used to teach him, Mr. Carl, well, I'm funny. You know? So my son then saw me. And him say, well, I'm funny, where you come for sing? Oh, man. I was devastated. Everybody I listened, but I said, God. I was devastated, you know, like when the dog shame and put him tail under him. And boy, I go home and I said, this can't work, man. I start practice for sing deep. Deep, all Delroy Wilson song them, my heart is gone. And I try for sing deep, get my voice.
Try rough it up.
Yeah, because I couldn't control it. I was just singing. And now sing anybody's song. But I create my songs, them do it, you know. And I couldn't sing. Dennis was singing with Falcons, Bargana Hopkins.
Yes.
So that's why I know so much foreign song. And we could control his voice at that time.
So you guys were probably close in age at this time here, no?
Yeah, man, I think my 7-year-old and D Brown, we become good brethren. I remember I sit down one day, and we used to come over mic up when we had to practice. This is you just sit down and listen to me. You know? So him sing with Bart Gunner, he learned to control his voice. But him sing with a band. So, you know, him going to develop that
Yes,
you
people around him that's going to help him develop
but
and
if-
push him and fix.
But if you listen to Dennis, you know, and listen to Delroy Wilson, that's where it's coming from. Delroy Wilson is Dennis' inspiration.
Got you.
That's the same kind of. If you listen good, most people don't realize it. It's Delroy Wilson, Dennis. Get that voice, that not the style,
Yeah.
but you know, you can know when you hear Delroy, listen to Delroy. Them songs, I'm not like all of them. You will hear. It's a wow. So Delroy Dennis used to, you know. So he was more recognized in Studio One than me.
Yeah.
Right? Because 1970 is me go buy the spliff. I'm build a spliff for Dennis when him sing No Man is an Island. That time Dennis a big bell foot. And me one shoes with cardboard up at the top of it between them. When I went to Studio One, I was a criminal, brother. So, why? Cardboard in my shoes. My shoes heel leaner than leany.
Not now go on.
With my 2 pants and 2 shirts. I'm not afraid to talk. All of my friends, them Laparacine, I know you grew up in Jamaica, Laparacine, that's where the clocks then come. Every man clean, every man a thief. We are all friends, same way, Virgin. But me look rugger, me not representable.
Yeah.
When me go dance, me have wash one clothes Sunday, and Wednesday by Wednesday, me put on the one. So, you know, I wasn't doing the wrong thing.
You were trying, this time you're really trying to get your music off the ground.
So when I went to Studio One, that's how I was. And me and Dennis. And I remember I used to beg Father, please drop off an Allman off of the tree. You know much Allman in me eat and sing, or drink water and sing. Then people don't know, you know. You know much bulla and sugar and water. We and Dennis Brown and Freddie McKee all away and Freddie McGregor all away. And Al Campbell, them thing that we drink and eat and go sing. Most people don't know. They think it just come like that. And when somebody see you, they say, boy, him rich. Money, 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 money. You turn left, money, you turn right. These people don't know
How you got here.
how long you have to wait to get royalties.
Yeah.
You know? And you have your son them and your daughter them a come. They don't know. So, I went away and I practiced. And I practiced. And I practiced. And January 1970, I went back to Studio One. Oh, I went back to Studio One. It was Sunday. And I said, Mr. Dad, can I do a song? And him say, yes, youth. No, Morris. I said, these people, you know, them fight against talent, you know, my brother. Them fight against me Studio One, you know. Larry Marshall, I know the only person was good to me now. I can't remember, was Leroy and not Barry. Barry told this me all the time because even Earl.
Yeah.
Earl. You know, it's one of people, you know. And the son, when I went and to say, Morris, Mr. Dad say, I can do a song today. He went around and going to Larry Marshall was doing Thelma. You know Thelma, right? He was making the song Thelma. And Morris I went behind him in the studio, but he never see me. And him said, look, Larry, Mr. Dad say him to do a joke, but let me him stay for the last. I'm turned when I see me, I don't say nothing. You know? And 6 o'clock the evening. It's like every time it's 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock is your time.
And Morgan, that's why if Nana is listening, because me and Nana is real good sister, you know. Because she come from Linstead. And her man friend at the time was Morgan. And them grew up in Linstead. So I remember that when we said that, me was the last one go up and sing. And when I start singing, my baby don't go, my baby don't, them all shocked.
Cause you found it.
Yeah, I went and practiced. That's why I know it's a gift when we get, you know, born to do this, you know.
Okay, you see, even that song there, where I'll tell you, I remember hearing that type of song. You'd hear that song like on sound system like Stereophonic, Soul to Soul, Gemini, Virgo, and those songs there, those sounds, they were playing. That's King Tubby's Stereograph, Jalov.
Yeah,
you understand?
Arrows,
yes,
all
man.
of them. Yeah.
That's where you became like the dance hall. That was bubbling in the dance hall itself.
And when I laid the rhythm, Morgan said, you man, bad. And I went to Tuesday morning. And when I'm voicing the song, Mr. Dad round the front. Because through me sing, him couldn't walk through the studio. Him walk outside and come round. And when we done voice the song, I'm ready because the speaker that we up now can't out the side, you know. It's not like now when you have headphone. Your ears are for good.
You guys weren't wearing headphones at that time?
No, there was no headphones. There was no phone. We never have the phone in them days. We never have no what you call it? Amsterdam. What you call it?
Which one?
You have Facebook,
Instagram. Well, we know those things are
all of
modern
these
things. But I figured, like, as an artist recording in a studio, that you would have on headphones while you're recording this
That was
song.
in the 70s. Toots and the Maytals, them never have that. They had to, if they make a mistake, it have to start over again.
So
The musicians, then when they make it's 2-track. They record on 2-track. And they put it on another 2-track, and then you come and voice. But the musicians, if they make a mistake, one of them are cuss, because they have to go from the top again.
there's
not-
no,
not like
no punch.
no-
There's no punch.
It's not like no when you know you make a mistake after you can go around and punch and you play back over the mistake. So we never have no headphone. So that's how I know I was blessed.
Yeah.
Because it was way up in the corner and it can't play loud.
No, because it's going to catch on the mic to record.
Right. So I had to listen up.
That's wild, boy.
You know, and when Mr. Dad came round, I never know he came round. I never know. And when I come round, as I come round and stand up, Mr. Dad spin around. When he spin around and look for me and go, so, let me shake him, man.
He gave you the salute, say, okay,
Yeah,
you catch it.
When I was learning, when I was making that song, I was singing, my mama don't go. And my brethren said, no, Horace. They'll make it sound like a mother did, and go, you know? So I sing, my baby don't go.
Yeah.
And Mr. Dad, from that, a voice over See a Man Face, a voice over Fever, all of them songs that I couldn't sing.
Now you catch it.
That was advice them all over. And that's why I make Skylark in 1970.
And that was, I think, that was
1973.
that was your first big hit now.
Yes.
Okay. With
Yes.
then, we're going to pick up Skylark in just now. But when did you start saying Rastafari? Was this before these songs came out or after?
16, 17.
So this was during these songs or after these songs?
No, before these songs.
Before, okay. So then this is going to lead me to this then. Did you go and see Selassie when he came to Jamaica?
Yeah, man. No, man. Don't
went?
believe, man.
Okay.
Shearer Street. I was there when him come out, Paul Bogle and Marcus Garvey.
Yeah.
You know, you can tell your history. Them bring Marcus Garvey 3 times. Don't him say it. Them going to bury him 3 times. He said the last time when them bring him, them say them come and keep thing for him. The Rasta man, them come and invade it. And spling when they cheer them and they read one. Read a fly, cheer a fly. Me don't know where them Rasta man they come from. And mash up the sermon. The Prime Minister, everybody around there.
So this is Marcus Garvey here.
Yes.
Okay. Selassie, what was it like? Now, I've never spoken to somebody that went to see Selassie when he came to Jamaica.
Youth, man, right up there in the crowd. And when them drive him round, me run, go back round outside and see the man a pass and then wave him, man. But Rita Marley said she see the hole in him hand. I don't believe that, you know. Some Rasta man know that.
Yeah.
Me not see it. Call like them and say, my Jesus. That's the white man culture. This Jesus thing with them have a preach. A white man I come from Rome. Pierre, man, them, I don't want to say it over.
Yo. So you got, okay. So then I definitely wanted to ask you about visiting Selassie. So then, okay. Skylarkin now. Is that an original song or that's
Original, man.
It's an original, your first hit.
Yes,
Okay.
because I used to beg 5 cents and 10 cents also. That's how the inspiration came, by looking at myself. And that's the first song that come and tell the youths them.
Yeah.
He's a radio DJ, he said, boy, this song was the first song that come and tell the youth them. We live up, we stop. Whatever, you know. Skylarking. And Mr. Dad put it on an album named Jamaica today.
Yes. It didn't come out as a single originally. No.
Come out on an album and it took 1 year
Yeah.
to release that song. When everyone wanted it, because I was saying, don't play it.
That's where, but you remember when I told you all the songs that were playing it? So again, this is another one where all the songs are really playing this song. You know what I mean? And it has a version so people could DJ and sing on the version and those things there.
And I after singing all those songs, me still a go and like me one bad, you know.
Yeah.
I run up and down on the bridge and them and I go dance, see me and I
Yeah.
keep up the arms house. And I was in my yard one day and a man come and say, Horace, not sleepy. Are you sing a song named Just Say Who? I said, Just Say Who? No, it's Just Say Who. He said, well, it'll mash up the place, you know. Me now gonna, me don't know.
Yeah.
You know, me now gonna dance again. Like one time, I'm gonna go skate land. So, me love roller skate. Me go skate land,
Okay.
right? And King Patrick was playing, and my brother, I couldn't believe it. Him play, see a man face, every tongue shall tell, skylarking, just say who. And the place I mashed down and see me a shock. I never knew these things were happening. You
So
know?
you didn't realize that these songs were really bubbling at this time like that?
No, I never knew these songs would become great songs.
Because remember, you said, you found Rastafari before you started putting all these songs. So you could
Yeah,
tell
man.
all your teachings was going into your music.
Right.
Everything
Right.
that you were learning and wanted them to know. That's why, like, every tongue shall tell. All of these things here was from what you were learning to put back. Now you're putting it back into the music.
Yes. Let me sing about myself. When we say every tongue shall tell, that means, you know, it's the truth.
Yeah.
You know, and God man used to tired of me. He used to say, Horace, no, I know me. He say, youth, you ask too much question now, you know, go sit down, little man. And see me and,
Yeah.
Muta come from the same place. You know? So, Skylarking was released on an album named Jamaica today. And that song pass out big now. We start go skate. What? Start go skate land now. Every time I go, why are him sing it, you know? Why all the girl them a teach me to skate. Me say, love that, you know. One girl on the left, one on the right, and them a teach me to skate. All of my job, boodoof them lift me up.
You have the big song, so you're the star, you know what I mean?
You know, but I wasn't show off and hype.
Yeah.
And if I show off and my own fans them, when you see them, oh, them people, no,
That wasn't your thing.
no. I sign all autograph. I'm not like, and look a girl has to sign and oh, I'm not sign autograph no, and run them on the face there. No.
That's not your thing. You're
I
just
will
going to
sign
try.
up autograph and I will take this selfie, you know, call it.
Yeah.
All them things, you know.
No, because you've done a lot of things. And even now that when these songs were really taking off, now you have the big hit Skylark. Were you singing on a sound system or you weren't a sound system artist?
I wasn't a sound system artist. It's Sugar Minot, Frankie Paul, Little John, them, they were. All them first time artists. They were sound system. That's why some of them don't record like me.
Because they're busy singing in the dance. Their thing was, we'll sing in a dance and that's how they make their money or whatever the case
And
is.
singing pure foreign song. They wasn't writing their own song.
Got you. So that wasn't the route that you took. You took, I'm a studio artist, I record, I do stage shows and these type of stuff.
You know, it's me, right? What about the half? Dennis Brown is my song, you know.
That's your song. And okay, I'll go one step further. That song, Dennis Brown actually produced that song on his own label.
No, Phil Pratt, I did it for.
So it wasn't, because I've seen it somewhere on a Dennis Brown label, like produced by, it was called DEB Music, Dennis Emmanuel Brown Music.
It's my song.
Yeah.
And I'm saying him write it.
So, okay, so how did Dennis Brown end up with that song?
Because I'm come to studio, we were in studio one, you know. And Dennis Brown bring me all of my song them, you know. When I was recording Sherman Face, Dennis was sitting there and him get up and come out, just walk out because I never give him the song. All of them songs that I sing, Dennis asked me, come practice, Dennis asked me to sing them. So I gave him what about half, right? And I gave him, look at the trees, so look at the birds, you know, all the trees are blowing away. I'm not going to tell you. I was him greatest inspiration. Me by the herb and Bill all the split again. I mean, teach Dennis about Rasta. Selassie, Hines, I know me, I lie. Because when I know him in 1970, I me tell him about Rastafari every day. Me tell him stop with your Belfort.
Cocky. Yeah.
We had demo until him went downtown. And that's when it gets spoiled. I don't want to talk about it. Devon went downtown. Down a Mattis Lane, all the way. And that's where him gets spoiled.
That's where everything changed.
You know, talk about it. But it was so damn sad.
Yeah.
When Dennis come to sing special, we never come to talk about him, right? Nobody believes it. It's my real brethren. And I really cry over it. To see how them spoil up the young youth. You know? And you see it? Greg was one of the main man who spoiled him, you know? No, all right.
Yeah.
You know? So, Studio One was, I can remember, I learned, I would go to Studio One, and I would practice the bass, I would practice the guitar, and I love the piano. And one day when I come, I see sign all over the studio, instrument must not be played by order of management. Remember, you know, my brother, I am learning, you know. And Morris and Miss Eden and Lion Marshall, them put up that. And I went round, you know, I told the people them cutting it, I went round the front. I was like, you sit down there, so Mr. Dad. Him say, Horace, what now? Come talk to me. And I said, Mr. Dad, is you put up the people them that instrument must not be. Him say, you go and go play. You want to see all hypocrite them sit down up in the, you know, the where you take, you know, the voice. So I can't remember. When I sit down and look through the glass for me and can't say nothing. They never want me to learn.
Yeah. So you had a really rough
Yeah, man.
start at this time here now.
They did something to me to keep me down, man. You know? And it now come off of me. It not care what I do. But it's so it go.
But why would you say that you have international big songs? You know what I mean? So why would you feel that there was something done nefarious to really hold down your career?
Yeah, man. They try to stop me, man. They try to stop me, you know. But I lived through it. I lived through it, and I live through it. You know, after Studio One, I used to go to Bonnie Lee. Bonnie Lee was an evil man. But you would love sing. We just love singing.
So at this time, you didn't really understand the business yet. No, you just like to sing.
Just love singing.
But you didn't understand that there's more to singing.
Publishing. And things will never penetrate that.
And nobody, at this time when you're recording for these producers, nobody sat down and taught you about these things?
No, because it happened to all artists. You know, we're not checking on the money part. Or, you know, to get with things them strong like no. We never know. You know? So it was really sad.
So how do you connect with Striker Lee now?
No, because I used to go downtown, Chancery, and we call it Eyeglass Rest. You hear about Eyeglass Rest, right? A VP. So Bonnie Lee would come around. You know, I'm always come sing a song. And so I do You Are My Angel, that album. You Are My Angel. Right?
Yeah.
I think it's 2 albums I do for Bonnie Lee.
Yeah.
So we love sing. Bonnie Lee, and them time, you know, we had faith in all the producers. Because we want boss big. And Children Records, I put mash up the place them time there. You know? So we sing song and bring contract concept children assign with. All of them.
Well, it's a lot. You've been through a lot in this business.
Yes. Been through it, my brother. I never get no royalties from them people. Only Mr. Dad. And the Chinaman, them, I'm sing Girl I Love You.
Channel 1.
Yes. Channel 1 man and pay me. A long time they not give me no royalty. I see them and look for them.
Yeah.
You know? So When I went to America now, Connecticut, married, get a nice wife, get children, but my career was down.
So at this time, you were doing a lot of stuff in Jamaica. You decided you got a chance to fly to the States.
Yeah,
You decided to.
more than one time. Was the politics why I couldn't stay. You know? So I went to America. I stay and never go back.
Yeah.
Start living in America. Career gone down. Cause you know America them don't give no one no break. No people like we. But I don't know why Americans don't like us. You know? I remember when Third World was mashing up the place and then find out Third World was Jamaicans. You see what happened? It went right down.
Once they found out that they were
Yeah.
Jamaican.
Yeah. You just show them the Shabba ranks. If you don't observe what them do. But they never do it to Shaggy though, you know?
Oh, it's
I
an
don't know.
interesting thing. So then when you were in, it was Connecticut you were in.
Yeah.
So were you like hustling music out there? You had to go find a job. You were just sitting down doing. What were you doing when you
It's
got to
good thing I
Connecticut?
didn't find a job. It's 18 months I stay away from Jamaica. Because I'd be like some of them artists. Go work and stop sing. You know?
And that's the end of that.
And that's the end of it. But you know, being around in Connecticut, the other little band and we used to go there and practice, you know. And I would get stage show at Boston. You know, and I would get stage show at Philadelphia. So I'd go around, but it wasn't, you know, until we get divorced and I end up in New York.
So then when you got to New York, what was happening or where was your career in New York?
Bulwaukee. I did dancehall style of
Yes.
Bulwaukee, you know. I used to love go up a line. When we don't have nothing to do, we'd go up a line. I'm on the record, you know. I know Bulwaukee I try. He's a trying man, too, you know. But the Jap, them love him. That's how him get. And that's the first time I went to Japan. When I went to Japan, you know, that's how I realized me an artist, me a star, you know.
When you got to Japan.
Big bus come for we. Big hotel. Me can't take up nothing in peace. Me can't, if you want a drink, somebody bring it.
Yeah.
That's why I went to that's about it. When we there at Jamaica, I go Jamaica, I itch up in the van. Itch up in that little van there from town to go Jamaica and I'll bat in your face. You have to, oh, man. Me not forget. You know them van, man. When you eat a man come in, you I take out your body out of my face. And you never go through, my brother. I remember taking the bus. I remember leaving Jamaica 12 o'clock at night. And me walk, go out of Bay Farm Road. And, you know, politics time, you know. And next day, man say, oh, Race, I chew you walking, make me know, say, you know, we have a by a nozzle. But we say, but no man will live over this on our worry. Now go walk them time of night, yeah. Go look transport. That's how bad it was.
Yeah. But you had to do what you had to do. You
We never have the
understand?
money. James drive gone, I'm here, left way. Me not have a bus fare for go home. Hungry.
Even New York, what year do you remember what year you got to New York?
Well, I went there in 1974. All right? And now I went to Connecticut. Because
74.
most of the people that I grew in Allman town live in Connecticut. So it's the producer who sent for me, him was named Sporty, King Sporty, him call himself, Sporty. So I went to Hartford, me, Toots, and Jimmy London.
Okay.
At the time Skylarkin was, you know. And we went to Springfield. And believe you me, brother, when my turn, I may start singing, just say, ooh, may I be a boo, me I hear. Boo! What? Boo! We reached half of the song, we couldn't do it no more. The drummer get up and come and say, Horace, sing I mean never. No, I mean, yeah. And when because his toots them come to hear, is the whole crowd them when they know they love the scare and it's not my kind of young crowd.
Because you're a lot of people don't realize, like right now, you are a truly a dance hall artist. You understand? Even though we're here, like if you compare like you're like the Skangs, the Beanie, the Bounties, the Bush, that's the genre where you are. You're a dance hall artist, but
Original dance hall.
you know what I mean?
You know? And the people them laugh me to scorn. But me look, me say, I'm one of man, him lady, I said, no man, and I clap on the man, hold down her two hand. Boo! Jimmy London, I laugh after me. Jimmy London, I dead with laugh, me look round and see him.
You had it rough, boss.
And then I start to sing, I may never see my babe. The place mashed down. And that saved me.
Yeah.
It's the first time I get boo in my life. I don't, every artist must get boo one at a time.
But you'll never forget that one there.
No.
Yeah.
Because it's the first, no, you know, the alternate song, them would take time I feel out now, you know, remember? I was 73, 74 coming up now. So the young artists start come out like Dennis and all of, you know, Freddie McGregor, all of us. So that era just touched the people them come to listen to. So then boo me.
Crazy, yeah. And at this time here, when did you record the first iteration of Bless You?
That was in Jammy's. That was Jammy's studio. What's his name? Him die now, man. I produced Shabarangs, all the Shabarangs.
Bobby Digital.
Bobby Digital.
Okay, but didn't you record a version before the Bobby Digital one?
Yes.
Okay. That was in the 70s.
Bonnie Lee.
Bonnie Lee, okay.
The original one. So, and I sing it and the tune in with him. That's what broke it out.
Yeah.
The tune and the tune in with him. And time I play selection, I'm always play that.
Yeah.
You know?
Because that's how I really got introduced to you. I think that song, Bobby Digital, it came out, I think, 1989 is when that came out. We're young kids going to dance and just get... And then when we heard that song there, the uniqueness in that voice, that caught me right there. And again, now that I see you at this point here, naturally, if you like what you're hearing, you're going to go back and see what else you have in the catalog. And then I seen like all the Tongue Shall Tell and all of these songs here, and Natty Jet Shall Want and all of these songs here. I said, this is what you were listening to on these sound systems here.
Yeah.
They'd play like a selection of Horace Andy. Then they'd play like a selection of Barry Brown. You know what I mean? That's
Dennis,
how...
Daddy Right.
Yes.
Daddy Right's a man like Horace Andy, sweet like sugar candy. Daddy Right.
Yes.
Me one of Daddy Right favorite, man. Anytime see my man, you know, like I angel him see the way him talk.
I think I even seen you did sing on Stereograph a couple times though.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. All when him died, I see them put it up. You know, boy, Daddy Right, the man just real Rasta man, real right spirit, everything. I never see that man vex.
Okay.
I've never ever seen vex. Daddy Right.
Daddy Right.
Just like Danny Dread. But me call him Danny Ras.
Yes, of course.
The
I
man
remember
they
he
no
played
vex.
No Soul.
The man they no vex, the man that's so calm. When I see him Tuesday night, him come over and say, oh, I'm sleeping. The man is so, boy.
Danny Russ.
He's so calm.
Yeah.
You know?
So what was your time like in New York? How long did you spend in New York?
I left. I couldn't take it anymore. I went to England.
Okay.
But when I was in New York, not never gone. That sound them I sing by the tone, they get $200. I get on. It was nothing was happening. So I said, I go to England.
So it was to Connecticut, New York, to England.
Yes. But after 6 years, I decided to go to England. And I went to England and I see it. When I went to England, I was 10 years late.
So if you had made the move, instead of going to Connecticut, if you went straight to England, you would have fit in the time zone at that time there.
No, I'm 76. I would start living in America in January 1976. So, you know, before them time, they sang them that much up the place, even until that time, you know. And, you know, I start singing with a little band, so I remember Philip, until I meet Massive Attack.
How long were you in England before you really connected with Massive Attack?
Quite a while, man.
You were there for a while, just still, as you said, from Connecticut, nothing really going on. New York's nothing really going on. England, now again, nothing really going
It's
on.
Brad, I went to Brad and said, Brad, I want to go to England. And him say, sing 2 tunes and me give you $300. 3,000 him give me. And I buy my ticket. Coming to England, don't know where me I go stay. Because I did come and do 81, I did a tour. And I find out, say, oh, me a Max Romeo and Matumbi. And just I find out, say, what? England I do it. And we tour and we come back. So Dave now, him stammer, super call him Greg Isaac. Can you give him walk like Greg? Him did the same at everything. You can't tell him nothing about Greg Isaac. Him says, super. Me not know. Put you know. But me know a little dread. So when I went to England, him took me to where the house, the darkness. Right? And him knock on the door. I say, what nobody no inside? Him say, yeah, man. I see one head come out with a little beanie locks. The locks them little so. And him said, sing out. Yes, and him give me a room downstairs. And when I get to realize, him have drum, him have bass, him have guitar, keyboard, everything him have. If you tell him play real rock, him play it brilliant, but guess what? He doesn't know the note then.
He could play it by ear.
Yes.
But you can't tell him, say, okay, play it in B minus or whatever.
That G major, he doesn't know. So during that 6 months, I teach him. I teach him the scale. And like when I go after a year or go back to England, what? The man get bad. And he might get bad on the piano. That's how Poland, until people start recognize him. Him throw it out scratch, him get big. Me help him out, man. Yeah. Him up to now, him want to come back and play with me.
That was there. So all of this here now. So then, how did you meet? Or who did you meet from Massive Attack?
Here up now, right? It's this house I was staying in. But, up to me grow up, I be a bad people, me grow up. So we go to All Saints Road. Check my brethren, get a jar herb, and him give me £20. Give me I go back a Peckham. So I was in Victoria, take the bus. But the bus them were coming and going around. No bus wasn't coming my way. So I decided to walk, go where the bus was turning, number 12, to go back to Peckham. But the same stammer man, him took me to Rough Trade. Right?
Yeah.
Him took me to Rough Trade, because him said, Dick, why sing on the man have every music for you and him want to know you? That's how I meet Dick. I was working with Rough Trade. Right? And I was walking, I go to the bus stop, and I hear, Horace! When I look, say, what, Dick? Him say, you in England? I say, yeah, man, me in England, man. Him say, you have a number? I say, give him a number. Right? Time was me and Caroline. No, me and Caroline. Until we meet Caroline. And him said to me, say, I have a friend who a band, and them want a singer. I'm going to tell them about you. By this time, Daddy G was the reggae man, the band of England, Him have every studio one. Him was my favorite. Me was his favorite singer.
Yeah.
The leader, white man and band of England, for them style different. And long after I forget all about it, my brother. Right? And I used to leave from Peckham, start live with Caroline, which I'm married to her. She have 2 sons for me,
Okay.
And I start live with her in that time. I over there, sit down, and the phone ring. And I say, hello. And I say, Horace, they give me a number, man. I have a group, man, and the boys, them want it, blah, blah, blah. I'm gonna send a rhythm to you and see if what you can do to it. And I know I'm gonna know about star. I know I'm gonna know a real star going on the music business. Right? And bike it over. And I said, wow, when I hear it, You listen to Massive Attack?
Of course.
And you know which song this was?
Which one?
One Love.
That's the first one.
Yes.
Boss.
When I hear the rhythm, it lick me gone. Don't have space.
Yeah.
And I said, what am I going to write to this thing? What? You know, pram, 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 pram. Most Jamaicans don't know about Massive Attack. They don't know. Me, I'll go to Glastonbury. I don't know where me not go in the world. South Korea. When we go to South Korea, me I look over at North Korea. To the festival I keep. These
Massive
guys carry
Attack,
me
boss.
everywhere in the world you can think of. I don't go place who don't go is Egypt. I went to Lebanon more than one time. I went and sing for the Palestinian cause. I give them all the money. I don't know where I don't go and sing. We go everywhere. And we're going tour this. After 10 years, we're going back on tour again.
Okay, so you guys haven't toured for a while.
Yes, and I've been making a new album for 10 years. It's so long.
So it's album and tour. Because I know you're one of the only artists that I think was on all 4 or 5 of their albums.
Over every album.
Yeah. And then they even produced a solo album with
me.
you also.
Carly Skylarkin, and I was upset because I shouldn't have done that.
How come?
You know, they get songs from everyone. I remember this song was on it. The label was Melancholic, right? Them asked me to get the song them from all these people when I sing, you know, and they wanted time ago, they wanted problems, but this time I just take problems because the guy, my brother, Children of Israel was number 1, and Problems was number 3. And he was, and when after two of them, I'm going to go home. He said, Horace, and I come look for him. He said, I don't really have the money now. But so when I bus people go, him give me $100 and said, check him Monday. He went to England the Saturday. It's 20 years after I see him, and I run him down the train line.
Yeah.
I run him down the train line. I don't know how we not get shocked. England train line, you know, it's dangerous.
So it's a live train line.
Kill him. And police are waiting for me down on the other end because they're on the track and they're not supposed to be on the track. When he reach and jump up, the police hold him. And all when the police hold him, me still a fight them. I have to go fight. Hold him.
I guess at this point you had enough. It's like this business is really dealing with me rough.
Yeah, man, not me alone. 90%.
So would you say you really learned the music business when you connected with Massive Attack? That's when you really learned the business of the business?
That's when I realized I was a star. Right? And you know, you must see the 2 old tape. The 2 old tape, them when we put on the time they are cassette. This is 1971. 71? No, 81.
Yeah.
81. The 2 old tape. The time that CD never come in yet still on them.
No.
One tape, there's one to place them. One can hardly play, press it. And it's me and my wife write the song. Me and I write One Love. And I send the tape to them, come for the bike, send it to them. I forget all about them. Saturday morning, I hear the phone ring and I say, hello, this is Horace. We love the song. The boys love the song. Virgin love the song. Me that I can't believe what I hear.
Yeah.
Right? Them send for me the Tuesday. When the doorbell ring, and I look out, it's a Jaguar, I see, you know, that man in a suit, you know. This is not jam. I got jam in the van, and my man fart in your face. This me say, what?
Yeah.
Door open. When we go to the train station, first class ticket, you know, my brother. It not frighten me, you know, but me just I say, me never expect these things. Right? And they came for me, and I recorded the song, and that was it.
That was the beginning of the that was where you really, everything you did up until that point, now it made sense.
Yes, yes. And then I did the big wheel. All of my song them when I sing for Matt Knock here is this with 15 songs and my song them come out the best. That is why they can't tour without me. Producer come and say, Horace, I'm glad you came. If you never came, we cancel. Them almost can't 39,000 people are wait because I'm late. Them now go up on stage till me come. Them was going, when I reached, they was about to cancel.
But you see, a lot of time you don't get the glory from your own place or even your own people.
No.
You have to go link with some. It's like, but remember, everything that you did made it possible to link with these people. So even though you didn't get the glory from here, you went over here with this massive thing that you did and got the glory here and it worked.
I could sing anything. And Jamaicans bring down them artists, man. Oh, God, why? Why them love to bring me down, so why? The worst things in life, then, from an artist boss, them start bring down the blind man already. Them start bring down the blind man already. Who know this, who know that, who that, who. Why? Why Jamaicans don't uplift them artists?
For such a music that's so powerful, you know, boss, that unites people globally.
I stand up and hear people that bring down Cocotti, Luciana. I mean, stand up in on the show. I'm pay my money, come on the show, because I support my virgin them. And they never see me. And if you hear what them talk, and the white people, them they listen. And I hear the man them talk, who no pay from this, from who no that, who no. I can't talk over here, so what them I say. And somebody come to the bar and see me. I say, Horace, so I'm not upon the show. One of them turn around and see me. And I have the audacity to come and ask me when I'm upon the show. And I say, I mean, I can't upon every show. Why not bring down the man them so? And make the white people them here. Them friend them start look. I say, I hear that thing when I do. When I pay £30 for come listen to the artist. And I not listen. As the man them come out, what's up? Just sir. Me vex, man.
It's just one of those things in the business where
every time a
it's
new
part of the
artist
business.
bus,
Yeah.
people start bring them down. Them hear this, them hear that. Why, may I tell you? My brother. So when I went to Bristol, then now Virgin started to look at me now. Well, I never record for them, but it's a massive attack.
Yeah.
I remember, and they did over Angel.
Yes.
Got through, he said, Horace, man, we do over one of your songs, you know. I couldn't believe it was Angel. And it's the biggest hit. They have great hits on the album. But my song, them that I did with Massive, remember they do over all, Girl, I love you, but you know, hear it.
Of course, listen. When it comes, you have to remember, because I'm over here. We listen to a lot of stuff coming from England, coming from the States and stuff. Of course, we know what's coming from Jamaica, but we know what's coming worldwide also too. And again, just to hear you on those type of records, or even to see that somebody took these songs and sang them back over after so long, boss. How did you feel? How did that make you feel now? Did you feel like, okay, you know what? Everything that I went through in this business is
manifesting now. You know, when we do Glastonbury, and I reached back home, I was watching it, and guess what? They were saying Massive Attack was on the show, and we think them a show. 8 o'clock news in the morning on BBC. Was this little old poop? So sorry. Watch out not to sleepy. Me, them a show Massive Attack sing Angel. And the BB, that's how I know, say yes.
Did you perform at
really happened.
Top of the Pops and stuff like that too?
No.
You didn't get Top of the Pops?
But the song Him on the Big Wheel got played. And got played. I did a TV show up there, yes, but, you know.
Yeah.
And then so things start to happen. You know, really start to happen.
It's like, you know what? Thank God, especially somebody like you that we sing these songs and dance and all. Thank God, really and truly, for Massive Attack, boss.
When I met me give thanks every day. Me say me that should have watched 3D foot and drink the water. But again now, we're in Jamaica, right? Remember when I get weekly money, when I get monthly money, Massive Attack now told me I have to keep save and all on. But you see the sound system on them, me for wash all, me for suck all them big too.
Dub plate?
Wash them foot and drink the water. Because it's the sound man them keep us alive.
You know what I see a lot of foundation artists? It's almost like you guys took dub plate money and almost have to act like it's publishing money. That's how you get your residuals from these songs.
Right.
So dub plate is almost like your form of publishing.
Yes, the song them that I never get paid for. It's dub plate. Even Angel, one time, them asking for somebody send an ask for I know to tweet on the new album. The new album mash up the world, you know. And the Massive Attack song, man. You'll be the world just as long as my baby safe from harm tonight. I did it over and when an album you hear it.
Yeah.
People asking people and don't play it. People are asking to try along.
That's how you make
your
your
song
money.
them off for the new album, the sound man them. You know, and I tell them, say, if I call, Adrian Sherwood, he's one of the best. You sound is him is a real reggae man.
Knows how to put it together.
Again. We start one, and you know which song him give me for sing over? Rude boys gonna jail. Bout them a loot, them a shoot, them a wheel a shanty to wait till you hear it, man. Yeah. I grew up on it and I love it. The man's so great. So when you hear the music, this album gonna be bigger than the next one. The first one.
You're talking about albums from like about 1972 till around 2022.
Yeah.
You had put out albums, or other people had put out body of works, where it seems like every year, sometimes 2, 3 bodies of work drop in a year. There was only 1 and 2 times where, like, 3 years you might take a time off, no music, or 5 years. But besides that, from 72 until basically right now, every year there's something, a musical work, a body of work from Horace Andy.
Yeah, but some of them don't know about it. You know? Some of them I don't know. That's the old songs them, but we never get paid for. Where people never release and then go and dig up on a tribe because of Massive Attack. Why?
You have a big name now and all this, so then now they're trying to capitalize.
Yes.
Without you getting part of the business.
Same way.
That doesn't make sense, boss.
Same way. The music of the justice and everybody. And everybody are running and hide them, take down off a spot, take down the thing and with them put up. But they can't hide.
You see, one good thing you have that you've always had is you could perform. You could perform your music live and all that. And that's what's going to even bring us up to here. Because right now, you're in Toronto, Canada right now. And I mean, for a big show, the Legends of Studio One, featuring Mr. Leroy Sibbles, yourself, Mr. Horace Andy, and Errol Dunkley also.
My inspiration from a young man. Errol was singing before me. You know, I remember I was sitting down at 3 Foot Wharf, down where we're going to see, and I sing, please stop your lying, girl, and speak the truth. I tell me never know I would be a singer.
Yeah.
But it was in my blood.
It's in your DNA. Before we even get into that show, I was speaking, Leroy Sibbles, he was here earlier. Mr. Basie, you wrote that song about him.
Yeah, man, write it off for Leroy Sibbles.
What inspired that song for you to write it for him?
Leroy, the way him play the bass. Me have him as the greatest. It's him sing it, make it have a, hey, Mr. Bay, Leroy Sibbles. Leroy is one of the greatest musicians you have that is alive now in Jamaica. No bass player like Leroy. Believe me. Robbie was good enough, but Robbie come second. And most people probably them know Leroy is one of the greatest inspiration in the music business. All of them great songs. Satama Sagana, all of them.
That's him, boss.
All of them. Look on Siaman face. Fever. Boom, doom, dum, doom, doom, doom. Fever. Leroy. Got to be sure. Leroy. Believe me, my baby don't go. Leroy. It's only Skylark and him never play. And the love of a woman. But every other one.
Leroy
Every
Sibbles.
other one. Leroy Sibbles.
Yeah.
Every artist. John Holt. You hear when one of the songs him sing, man, all the love I can feel. It's Leroy. Burning Spear. All of the Burning Spear them. You know, yes, he pray. That man is so great.
Yeah. So
You know?
what is it like to actually now to perform on a show with him in Toronto again, even with another inspiration, Earl Duncan?
Great honor. Great honor. Believe me. I may look forward, you know. I may go nice at the place. I want to should sing Big and Heavy. You know why I did? I know I hear Big and Heavy. The last time when I came here, I was singing on a show and I sing Big and Heavy. A big fluffy lady come and hold me, see? I start whining me.
Sure.
I wonder if she's still around. She must remember.
When you sing the
hold
song,
me.
see if she pops up this time on stage.
Yeah?
When you sing that song, Big and Heavy, on Sunday, let's see if she shows up on stage. Yeah.
So me say Big and Heavy, me no want no Big and Heavy. Slim and Irish, compensate, you know, all the Big and Heavy. Whoa, the place mash up. Right now, this was a song. Because if you see what I'm baby mother, you know, my brother. The big old. When she go up on the bike, you know, and she ride the big bike, no car pass her, you know. Everybody's there behind her look. It's like a tree, but big old metal her all the while, you know, stop, ride the bike, you know, see what happen.
You think he's easy?
Me a drive, my brother, every man, me slow down and make them pass me to see if I really see them and look at them and no car no one pass. Yo, be laughing.
Yeah. Beer
But
up
they
and
don't know say
listen.
I might be able to come on, you know.
Come on, Mr. Sleepy. This conversation again
Yeah.
was really a good insight into your soul to see what you've really done in this business, how it made you feel, the highs, the lows, the in-betweens and everything.
man.
And I know they're going to really enjoy this from seeing the world through your eyes in the music business. You
They're gonna love
understand?
it. 'Cause we go through hell, man.
Yeah.
Sometimes when I sit down and I remember crackers and sugar water. I know people that see me and they don't know what we go through.
With these big songs playing
don't know.
everywhere.
I sing so much great songs. We went through it. I'm sorry Dennis not around again now, you know. It's so sad, you know. Look at Debo. Man, them spoil him, man. I think that, you know, much people try to get me on that shit. You know how much people try it now, race. Try it, man, make a much down stage show. No, Rasta. Me don't need that in my structure. You know? I don't need it.
One question to ask you before I got you out of here. You have 20 daughters, 10 sons. How many baby mothers you have?
Whoa! 17.
What?
Yeah, I get two kids. You know? Remember, you know, some of them we were young, you know, and them live with them parents, you know. We not think about we go have family them time, they young.
17. Boss.
Me not like little John in a 21 picnic and 21 people.
Yo, listen to me. Yo, I did not expect that answer at all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But Mr. Andy, listen to
One
me.
thing, I mind them, I take care of them. Them not for beg nobody nothing. I always did it. Last time, when the last tour, me do 3 months, when I reached the airport, I was the first one reached me, I cried, Daddy, me miss you, don't go again. So right now, you know what happened now.
Yeah.
Because, you know, mother not spend money like we, you know. I have them come say, Daddy, me want a drink at the top of the mama, me not have no money go ask your father. Didn't know when Father's Day, everything left, all of the presents still pile up. No care how good the father is. No care how good the father is, it's like you're still deadbeat. They won't go talk on the radio, bless up the father, them were good.
Yeah.
But we ain't going to look on the present and everything sell off for mama. And look how much ladies run and left them picnic. Right now, one of them run with you, the border gone, left them for me. She carry one and left two. I never know she was going. I frightened when I hear she gone. Oh, them not talk about them mother there. We run and left them picnic gone America, show the border. One to the mother them, we run with all of the furniture them and the picnic them. That happened to me twice. I don't want to talk. I leave England and go home, go see empty house. Empty house. My children, them, they are them bigger brother and sister. Lady gone. Don't even leave one bed for me in the 3-bedroom. Don't even leave one bed and one at the TV. Oh, them not talk about them mother there. But them talk about father. Wicked no right to do it.
Mr. Andy, thank you for sitting down and talking with me today. You know what I mean?
So you want to hear this?
Yes,
don't
man. Yes, all right, you want it.
Yeah, but one thing, I love woman to death, we can't left them. Me not going to go around the area, no time at all. Me love woman, you know. That's why me get in trouble all the while.
Clearly.
Me get catch all too.
Yo, what, we're leaving now. Listen, I would not be doing this to know we're leaving. I'm giving you an outro and we are leaving.
It's all right.
Yo, well,
A woman will say, my brother, people have all kind of rumor, but when they get to know me, know me, you know.
100% beer vibes. Well, ladies and gentlemen.
Me get catch more sinking at the ground.
Listen, you're cool. I'm gonna get you out of here now. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is Muscle, and this has been another Two Line Music Cuts Entertainment Report podcast, and we are out.
Any man will get catch, and not get catch, something wrong. Because we are girls, we will get catch.
Yo, listen, you're different. This podcast is brought to you by www.twolinesmusichut.com.